Okay, oh my. Oh hey, is that your idea of a costume? Oh this? I'm gonna sneak around the dark web later and see if I can catch a sneak peek at the Preds Winter Classic jersey. Preds lose 6-5 to the Calgary Flames in overtime. I'll give you a moment to collect yourself if you changed the channel or turned off the TV after 2 periods, assuming the Preds had this game in cruise control. Apparently the Preds players did too, because after 2 periods, they were outscored 5-1 in the 3rd period and overtime and outshot by a total of 18-9. I was unaware of the stat coming into this game that the Calgary Flames were 7-1 in their last 8 visits to Bridgestone Arena, so much for that Nashville flu for them. It appeared to be all Preds early in this one, as just over 10 minutes into the game they had a 2-0 lead on Nick Bonino's 7th of the season, following up his hat trick against Chicago on Tuesday, and Austin Watson collecting his 2nd, and the Preds seemed to be in control early, outshooting the Flames 14-0. With all this pressure at one end of the ice, Pekka Rinne at the other end of the ice was like, "I'm so lonely, oh so lonely, have nobody." Well, he was cold alright, as Derek Ryan for the Flames on only the Flames' 2nd shot of the game reduces the Preds' lead to 1. After a hot start to the game for the Preds, the team seemed to even out and we head into the first intermission. 2-1 Preds, with them outshooting the Flames 15-4. In the second, the Flames are on a power play and they're trying to set up, but Austin Watson intercepts it and he's off to the races on a 2-on-1 with Calle Jarnkrok, and he saucers it over to Calle and he roofs it for a 3-1 Preds lead. Later, during a stoppage in play, Bridgestone PA announcer Paul McCann announces to the Bridgestone faithful that the Preds have re-signed Austin Watson to a 3-year extension, $4.5 million at $1.5 million per. Nicely done, Austin. Later in the second period, Rittich draws a goalie interference penalty. Maybe he was embellishing, maybe he wasn't. But Turris can't skate this close to Rittich when the play is not in that zone and expect that he's not going to get called if the goalie falls. Well, fortunately for Turris, he will not have to end up returning to the bench embarrassed, as the Preds would score shorthanded again. And yes, it's Calle Jarnkrok again, his 2nd of the game, and the Preds' 2nd shorthanded goal of the game, and it's 4-1 Preds. As we reach the second intermission, it is indeed still 4-1 Preds, and the Flames haven't even hit 10 shots on goal, as the Preds are out shooting them 27-9. But there was an eerie feeling, at least I was feeling, about this game during the second intermission, with the Preds so dominating play one way. I just had a feeling that it would tip back over the other way. Preds' defense has performed well up until this point in the game, and Rinne has remained relatively untested. But on the Flames' 10th shot in the game, they would get their 2nd goal, Anderson's 3rd of the season, reducing the Preds' lead to 2. But in response, the Preds would get a 2-0 with Forsberg and Josi on Rittich. That certainly would have put the game away, but they get nothing. And it's still Preds 4, Flames 2. That missed chance would prove costly. With just over 7 minutes left to go in the third, Matt Irwin makes a terrible defensive decision, gives it right to the Flames, but only Matt Irwin could then seconds later block a shot, keeping the Flames from scoring. Just over a minute after Irwin's mistake, though, the persistent Flames would keep coming, and that persistency would reward them, as they got a lucky bounce off of Roman Josi on a goal by Lindholm, and now the Preds' lead is cut to 4-3. And Preds fans everywhere in the building, in Smashville, and everywhere else in the world were holding on tight for the last 6 minutes. And the comeback for the Flames seemingly seems complete, as Quinn gets his 1st of the season, and now it's 4-4 4. This is what happens when you take your foot off the gas. But the newly signed Pred, no, not Yossi, but Austin Watson would get his 3rd of the season with just over 90 seconds left, and the Preds have their lead back. And just when you thought this game might be for the Flames, like the Kings game was for the Preds just a few weeks ago, the Flames find another gear and tie it at 5-5 with 39 seconds left to go in regulation. The Preds seemingly crawl those last 39 seconds of regulation to overtime and escape with at least 1 point when the Flames might have even won it in regulation. In overtime, both the Flames and the Preds seem to have life, and both teams get their chances. But just when you thought we might be heading to the gimmick, Matthew Tkachuk, who tied the game at 5-5, now wins it in overtime 6-5 with 2 seconds left to go in the extra frame. What else can be said? The Preds took their foot off the gas. They thought subconsciously the Flames were just going to go away in the 3rd like the Blackhawks did. Well, they were wrong. It is one game, and these can happen once in a while, but don't make it a trend. What I am more unsatisfied with right now is, yes, they are 4-0-1 in their last 5 games. That's all very nice, well and good. But in those 5 games, no goals accounted for from Forsberg, who, yes, great, he's back in the lineup. Let's get going. Let's get reacquainted with everybody. Philip. No goals from Duchesne, Turris, Johansson, and Granlund. Depth scoring is great, but you can't keep playing with fire and goal such cold streaks without your top-end money talent scoring goals. I know you guys are going to start scoring again, but don't make these cold streaks a pattern. Feed off the fans on Saturday afternoon and live the reminder that you will be playing an outdoor game on New Year's Day in Dallas, and then head out on a 4-game road trip for some team bonding. So that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. As always, hit like if you like this video, hit subscribe if you really like it. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Canuck for Liberty, and let's see those Winter Classic jerseys.